Right, Ogroid Myrmidon. Let's put him together, take a look, and then check out his cards. Okay, so just before we take a look at him, there was 2 skulls left over. Now these are to go onto his shield. There's some points on his shield that they get added to. They are optional extras. I may add them on after I've painted the shield, but I'm not sure yet. Right, okay. So here he is in all his glory. Ah, he's not even glued to the base properly yet. Anyway, it can look like this. Superb model. Really, really cool. Pretty straightforward to assemble. Didn't have any issues. All in all, a very cool model, and I can't wait to get him on the battlefield. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at his Warcry cards first, and then we'll take a look at his Age of Sigmar card. Right. So he's actually fairly, from the card, in every area outside of the wounds that he deals, he's fairly kind of pedestrian. So movement of 5, wounds 35, which is good, but it's not fantastic. Toughness 6, there's not many going to beat that, to be fair. In terms of weaponry and that kind of thing, so his spear's got a 2-inch range, only does 3 attacks, but hits on strength 5. So again, he's going to be up there fighting with the big boys. So most of his wounds, most of his attacks are going to be on 3-ups. And it's just this, the wound statistics. So so on a natural victory, he scores 4 wounds, but on a crit he scores 8. So that's really hefty. Now let's have a look at his abilities. So we've got the double, a Berserk. A fighter can only use this ability if 20 or more damage points have been allocated to them. Add half the value of this ability rounding up to the attack's characteristic of the next attack action made by this fighter, this activation, that has a range characteristic of 3 or less. So basically, he can roll up to 6 dice. So if you use this, the minimum he'll roll is 4 and the maximum is 6. So it's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. On a triple, he's got Arcane Fury. Until the end of this fighter's activation, add the value of this ability to the damage points allocated by each critical hit from attack actions made by this fighter that have a range characteristic of 3 or less. So again, that's going to be difficult to hit. So you can only use 1 ability per turn, per fighter. So he's only ever going to roll 3 and be able to use that. So if he does roll those 3, he'll score 8 wounds just from getting the crit anyway, but he'll be able to add another 6 if he rolls a 6 for the triple 6, which is unlikely, but you know, it happens. Okay, quad, Blood Marshal. Pick a friendly fighter within 4 inches of this fighter using this ability. Allocate 1 damage point to that fighter. If the fighter picked is not taken down, that fighter can make a bonus attack action that has a range characteristic of 3 or less. That's really cool. So it's only a 4-inch range in terms of the distance to the fighter near him, but that is really cool to allow a fighter who's already perhaps engaged with a model you really want to take down, you'll give him an extra attack. So that's good. So cool. I think they're quite cool abilities. They're not amazing, but they are cool. That quad's a really good one. But yeah, look, the Ogroid Myrmidon, I think, is pretty pedestrian if it's not for the wounds that he deals out. So very cool. And for Christ's sake, look at him. He's not going to be doing anything fancy. He just wants to smash people up with that spear. So that's very cool. Right, I've got the wrong card here. Ogroid Myrmidon. Myrmidons are masters of the Varanspy fighting pits and have spent decades mastering the gladiatorial arts. In battle, they lead those who seek to join the Ever-Chosen's Legion, for to impress a Myrmidon is to be marked for glory. Okay, so he takes 8 wounds, movement of 6 inches, he saves on a 4, and he's got a bravery of 8. So let's look at what he does in combat. So he does go in the shooting phase. Gladiator Spear has a range of 18 inches, 1 attack. It's a 3 up to hit and wound, a -1 on rend, does 3d damage. Sorry, does d3 damage, so not bad. Up close, his spear has got a range of 2. He does 6 attacks on that, which is very good. Hits and wounds on 3 up, a -1 rend, does 1 damage. And then his great horns, he's got a range of 1 inch, 1 attack, 3 up, -2 rend, so that's good, and it does 3 damage, so that is good. Okay, so now his abilities. Arcane Fury. If the unmodified hit roll for an attack made with this melee weapon is a 6, that attack scores 2 hits on the target instead of 1. Make a wound and save roll for each hit. So that's cool. So that's Arcane Fury. He's got Arcane Fury on his abilities for Warcry. He's also got an ability called Berserk Rage. He's got Berserk on Warcry. You can re-roll hit and wound rolls for attacks made with the melee weapons this model if any wounds or mortal wounds were allocated to this model earlier in the same phase. So if he gets any wounds whatsoever earlier in the phase, he gets to re-roll hits and wounds. Okay, now command abilities, Pit Marshal, and his command ability in Warcry was Blood Marshal. So in Warcry, enemy within 4 inches, you can give them extra attacks. So the Pit Marshal is you can use this command ability in the combat phase. If you do so, pick 1 friendly cultist wholly within 12 inches of a friendly model with this command ability. Do not take battle shock tests for that unit till the start of the next hero phase. Okay, so that's good. So I think he's pretty good for Warcry. I think he's very good for Age of Sigmar. His cost for the unit in Age of Sigmar was 140 points, by the way. So that's good. So yeah, I'm a big fan. And the model is awesome as well. You know, that is a seriously good model right there. So all round, I'm pleased with the Ogroid Myrmidon. Good model, good stats, good for Warcry and for AOS. Brilliant. If there's any other content from Warcry that's come out this weekend that you want to see, let me know in the comments and I'll make a priority of doing it. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I will catch you later.